Okay. Hi. How are all of you? How was your day? Now that I'm not jumping around, being a crazy person, playing Ring Fit, and all that. Actually, you know, say hello. And, be happy. Interesting that the gamepad tester doing this, but that's okay. I just need to change that to have a background color of green. Hello. Come on, you. I don't know why it's not detecting. It's not detecting. One second. I like having the gamepad tester. Or, well, there we go. That was weird. You're doing kanji reviews while you watch? Lucky. I need to do my homework for my Japanese class, actually. And one of my classmates who just had a kid, so he's not actually taking the level we're doing, just opened up a pull request on my my GitHub repo for my flashcard website that I made for us. That included all of Book 1's kanji and like vocab put into flashcard form. So that's exciting. So like 200 more flashcards added. So gotta review those. You know what about I just had an idea. Kind of a silly idea, but all right, ready? We're all gonna learn some Japanese as we each time we die, okay? So every time we die, let me place this here. All right, nafuda is tag. All right, you can mull over this one. Let's see, what is it? Sotsugyo shimasu. I actually know what that one is, but I will wait until I die to say it. Sotsugyo shimasu. Oof. Oh no. See, you might know the kanji. Oh, I died. It is to graduate. To graduate, like from school. Yeah, sorry, not all of these are gonna have like actual kanji, I suppose. Because the book doesn't always introduce all the kanji at the same time and whatnot, so some of the things will still just be kana. So let's see, the next one to think about is Matashiro. Oh, I know this one. No, I think this is drink. I think maybe, or Matashiro nonde in desu. Maybe that's not nonde. Nafuda's a label as well. Okay. Oh, I should know this one. It looks really familiar. Matashiro. Wait, no, Shiro is documents, I think. Or is it? Could be like documents or... No, it's not. It doesn't have to do with food, right? I'm thinking of something else for food. I'm thinking of like Rory and there's another one. Like shofu? Shoot. There's a word for like meal times and lunch times that's used for like dinner parties and meal parties and drinking parties. It's just similar. What the Shiro? Wait. Shiro. I don't think that one's... No. Shiro for white doesn't have a U. Or an U, rather. So that's not it. Shiro. God, what is that kanji? It's so familiar. Kyo. That's not key, that's hon. Isn't that book? Oh, Yomi? Oh, then Shiro is documents. It's something to do with reading the documents, and I just fucked up and died. Matashiro. Yo. No, why do I have an N there? But that doesn't make any sense. All right, let's find out. I'm struggling with it. I haven't read the documents. It is that. Yonde. Why was I thinking it? Never mind. There's no difference between N and M. Damn it. Yonde. Tari? I don't know that kanji. Is that... Okay, let's hit the next one. Futoi. Futoi. That one's easy, right? Wide boys. Ryoho kaimasho. Ryoho kaimasho. Oki, yes. Ryoho kaimasho. Ryoho kai. That is some kind of party. It's either like a welcome party or a going away party. Ryoho, I think. Because like the kai stuff, if I remember right. Oh god, I'm dead. Yeah. Okay, I'm not dead, but Ryoho kai. It's either that or for some reason I'm also thinking like business trip, but I don't think that's quite right. Ryoho kaimasho. It's not vacation, right? No, it's not vacation. Ryoho kaimasho. Ryoho kaimasho. I think it's... I want to say it's like going out with your colleagues or something similar. I gotta die first for us to find out. Though, you know, I don't want to die, but... This is good. I like this right now. Like, I get some time to think about it, but we're learning. Gives us something to do while we, you know, die repeatedly. Trying to get a golden berry. Ryoho kaimasho. Unless I'm wrong and like... Wait a minute. Kaimasho would be to shop. Like, let's go buy this thing, right? Ryoho. Ryoho isn't vegetables. That's yasai, but Ryoho kaimasho. Kanadake. Shiranai. Oh shoot, I messed up. You can skip this bouncy if you do a wave dash off of that. Kanadake. I don't actually know this one without kanji. Ryoho kaimasho. I feel like I'm trying to remember any context from the book as well, because it's the second Japanese for Busy People book, page 11, and most of this stuff is like kind of around like business and office environments and such. Ryoho kaimasho. They also do like trips to museums and other like random things to get vocab words in, but I kind of want to just look even though I'm not dead. I'm doing too well. Let me not say that or else I'll just like die repeatedly though. I want to at least get to the this room. Or rather the next room after this before getting any forms of cockiness. Because the next one is the one that keeps breaking me repeatedly. Tell you what, if I get to Grandma, I'll look. Which is the next room after this one. Okay, I can look. Where to Grandma? Alright, ready? Let's buy both. Oh, it's both! Ryoho is both. Okay, that one was beyond me. Ryoho Kaimasho. Well, I figured out that yes, this was to buy though. So, let's buy both. Is that really right though, or is that like... Whoa, got that. Ryoho. You, I'm sorry. Oh, it's a long U. Or long O, rather. Or both. Wait, what? Do you feel like translating this today? Or am I dumb? Ryoho? Copy the kanji. Thank you. Both, okay. Alright, cool. Next. What could this one be? It's otona? It's adult. Otona. There we go. Inai. Regular 2. Iru. So this is because we learned the the nai forms of things. So this is just existence for living things for imas. Like the super simple ones I'm just gonna skip over quickly, but also maybe I should make this, hold on, I can make this wider for the capture so that it actually has all of it. I think. Okay, what do we have here? We have helpful things for pronunciation for some reason. Normally I put those on the back text. Anyway, we have, I believe, oh, well, I recognize food and, okay, shukuji, which is lunch or just mealtime. I think it's just mealtime. Shukuji no ato de, so after mealtime. Amai sweet. Amai mono o tabemasu. Let's eat sweet things after we eat our meal, I think is roughly what that one's saying. Yukuji no ato de amai mono o tabemasu. Yeah, let's eat sweets after our meal. Do. That's like, I almost shouldn't wave dash there. Alright, this one we can go ahead and do this, but then I don't want to go the other way. Is this? Oh, this is the wrong way. There. Go. I'm looking at your thing. I recognize the amai again. And for a moment I thought that was the food one, or that it is food related, that first kanji, because it does look familiar. Whoa, 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 whoa. It is food related, okay, alright. You're saying something sweet. I know that. Something is sweet. Oh, Jesus. Okay, note to self. Do not dash in this water. Oh boy. I think, did we just make it to battle line? No. Oh, we made it this room. This is as far as we got before. Okay, so this one I have to not die on. But we need to do the jump and then double back and then jump and then double back. I don't remember if there's another one or not. There's not. Okay. We made it to battle line though. This is the farthest I've ever gotten with the golden berry. Watashi o mitai ka. Okay. Okay. Oh god, I'm gonna like... There's gonna be so many deaths. This is gonna, like, this area is gonna end so many golden berry runs, I feel. Because we have to dodge her bullets. Get our Tugu on. I'm gonna try to be really careful about it. Wait, is there really not? Okay. Go. Doing okay. I'm gonna try not to get cocky here. Keep like advancing slowly. Okay, hold on. After a meal, I eat something sweet. Yes. This is my class slide, apparently. No, I have no idea. Book 2, page 81. This is from the previous lesson. Hiru? Oh. Like as in noon. And like food, like lunchtime and such. Yeah, noon, daytime. That's not cat. Is that fish? Soda. Factory. Kosho. For factory. There's a little... I'm trying to think of a mnemonic or something. Like this almost looks like a little like if you're looking at it, like this is like a little dude coming through the gates, walking down the path to the factory building. Kosho. Kojo. Sorry, thank you. Joe. Alright. Torimasu. That's a good one. Torimasu. Whee. To take. Not to be confused with Tobimasu, I believe, which is to fly or jump. Torimasu. To take, I'm pretty sure. Although tote is take. Or that's the te form of it. I think it's Torimasu. No! Ooh, we're still alive. We are still alive. I thought I was about to die there, but we're still alive. I don't know how we're alive. To take or get. Okay, we have a sentence. Atama ga itai. My head hurts. Atama ga itai toki. Oh, when my head hurts. Nani mo shitakunai desu. I don't want to do anything. When my head hurts, I don't want to do anything. The time of my head hurting. There was a bunch of examples with like toki and like using it to attach to things and such. So this was my example sentence that I made. Alright, last one before I move on in the game. Mainichi o bento o motte kurun desu ka? Do you bring a bento every day? I think. Yeah, every day. Box lunch, bento. Motte kurun. So carry and come. Like, do you bring this thing with you? And the form of this and such is like you're asking for the explanation. So you're saying it's like, hey, do you do this every single day? Like, I think in the book specifically, it was it was like someone talking to a coworker who had just come in the morning or something like that. Go too far, too far. Oh god. Yeah. Oh. Okay, this is good to do the Japanese study at the same time as this because it's like calming me down between nearly getting murdered by Battleline. Okay, here we go. Kite mimasu. Kite mimasu. So the mimasu here is like to try or like to try something out. And it's hard without the kanji, but I think this is the ask the question. Although that'd be like the small su, right? For kite or kite. Kite mimasu. I might just have it spelled wrong. Kite. I think it's like try asking. Yes, okay, it is that. Might want to double check me on this though. I don't know if it's like a long kite or if it's supposed to be kite with the small su and not a ni. Okay, here we go. I'll look at this and then move on. Alright, we have... God, it looks familiar. I think it's not Fiori, right? Or is it something ni Nanika? Oh, you are very familiar looking. You're the little bug. Tekimashoka. So the Kima show part here, I think again, is like the combination things. So this is asking like what you bring or something like that. Alright. I'm gonna try some more Celeste. Man. Some of these... Oh god. No! Man. I did good though. How far were we? I like to know these things so I can feel good / suffer in the fact that I got so close yet so far. We got through there, This is the bad line section. I think we were right here. Boss 3? No. Yeah? No? I feel like we dropped through more things, but... We definitely didn't do this part. Because that's like the really crazy, like, boom, 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 or you bounce off her a bunch. I think it was it this one? Or was it the one above it? Yeah, it was this one. So that's boss 4. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, there's more than one here. Boss 4, I said, right? So there's 20 or something, right? Yeah, 20. So we had 16 more baddie rooms, and then the very ending bit. So, not bad. Your neighbor took a gnarly shit. Oh, that's gross. I'm sorry. That sucks. Nothing to really make you want to sit down and study hard than having to sit in the smell of shit. Did he have like tacos today or something? Like what does he eat? Although you never know, it could be an entrepreneurial exercise. They could be selling their farts and bottling them. Maybe they're an e-girl, you know? That one girl. That one woman who had to go to the hospital because she ate too many eggs. Too much eggs and chili and those things. Chinese don't just usually smell their weight. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I live in a state known for such things. And unfortunately, I have to smell it all the time. And I'm not really a fan. I don't really mind too much if I don't have to smell it, but unfortunately it wafts around. So, before I forget, wrong button. Before I forget, should I buy you something on the way back? Oh, that's why it looks so familiar. It's Kairu. Kairu. Kate. This is to buy. Okay, that's why. Kate. So, Kairi ni nanika kate kimashou ka. On the way back, like the noun form of to return, Kairi ni nanika kate. Kate. It's like a wallet opening up to drop all your money out because you're holding it like this. And you're like, oh, I don't have any money left. Kakanai. From kaku. Don't write. Motanai? Always picture the RE4 merchant. That's a good one. He does kind of look like that. Like the Adam stuff, yeah. Also, like, he has that hood, and like his sprite is pretty damn boxy as well. Motsu. Regular Motsu. This is like Motekima. This is to bring. Motanai, so don't bring. Don't have or hold. Don't have or don't hold. Oshaberi o suru. Oshaberu. That's the conversation, like to have a conversation. Oshaberu o suru. To talk or chat. Yeah, to have a conversation. As opposed to hanashimashou. Apato. Apatoju. Ju. I think this thing is the ju for like the suffix that means throughout, I believe. So like if you were saying like, oh, I cleaned all of my house or all of my apartment, then it'd be apatoju o soji shimasu. Soji shimasu, right? Yes, throughout the entire apartment. So, and like you can just kind of affix ju onto things for like all throughout this or all throughout that. All right, one more and then I'll go back to Celeste. Oh, here we go, I got a good one. All right. Yukata o kaitain desu ga doko ni arimasu ka? Oh, that's easy. I want to buy yukata. Where are they? Where did you keep them? Where are they? So, and like the tain here is like expressing that you don't know and that you need help. So like this is something that you would say to a shopkeeper or like the help or an employee of the store. That's what I'm trying to think of. The help. What the fuck? The people in the store, like the employees and that kind of thing. If you're like, hey, I need to find some really cool pants. But yukata. I like to buy yukata, but where do I find one? Alright. Yama no toki. Oh, sorry, no. Yama no ho. Yama no ho. Yama no ho. Oh. Sounds to me like it has to do with mountains. But I don't think it's mountain climbing? I think that's a different word. Find her with the tightest desire. I don't actually know which is right. So like, they both work, but it's kind of like the difference. So like, if you, like imagine you're in a store and you want to get something, right? If you, I think if you said that to like this person and you're like, Yukato Kaitai, like I want to buy this. It's like you really want to buy it, but you're not necessarily asking for their help to buy it. If that makes sense. Well, like the Tine is it kind of puts it into the informal version of it, but also expresses like your uncertainty around it. Trying to remember what the exact explanation in the book around it is, but like a lot of it and like all the examples given that use like the Tine stuff and the it's like the informal version of the verb stem and then plus the N on it. It's informal. So like you wouldn't use it all the time though, because if you used it all the time, people would think that you're very indecisive or very nosy, because it's also used to like ask for someone's advice. That's the right way to say it. They're asking for advice, like, or like to get people's like their input on it. Well, if it was just Thai, then it'd be that. Like a little, I think like a little kid who wants something to eat that's sweet would complain and be like tabe Thai or tabe Thai all the time and whatnot, but they wouldn't use the form of that because they're not really, or maybe they would, I don't know. Gotta watch more anime with little kids in it, I guess, to find out. But I know that the examples they give us around introducing that when it came to like, that was kind of replacing the Thai form if you were to attempt to use it in like a shopkeep environment, or a shopping environment rather, where you want something. But like it's also used in other examples with like seeking an explanation, which is why I said that like it can make you seem like you're really nosy, because if you were to like talk to your coworkers all the time and be like, oh yeah, tell me more about that, and like keep like prying almost is what it would feel like. Like it's the difference between saying like, I want this and I want to know your opinion on me getting it, or like that kind of thing. I'm trying to think like of a good, like a better example in English than the ones that I've given, because I feel like there's gotta be one somewhere. Oh god, ooh, okay, there we go, we're good. Like, can you help me buy a yukata? Is what that like would probably get translated to if you weren't being like super literal about things. While if it didn't have the N on it, then it would just be I want to buy a yukata. Like you could say to like one of your friends before you go to a store, like kai tai, and then when you're at the store trying to figure out which one to buy and you're asking for their advice, you could like hold up two maybe and like say like dochio kaitain. That's my understanding anyway. The one thing that I don't specifically remember though is if like you use the informal version of the verb, but I don't actually remember if it's impolite, because there's certain like grammatical, oh fuck, I got rid of mine. There's certain grammatical phrases where you always use the informal regardless of like status, as it were. Mountain climbing, yama no ho, sorry, bow. I missed the things. Just add des. Add des and tilt your head really quick to the side. Alright. Yonda. We know this one. We saw the kanji for this one. And it was to read, right? Called. Oh! Nope. Damn it. It's one of these, like... Yonda is called, like as in yonde. Which is regular one, while the other one, to read, is a regular to verb, so it conjugates differently, I think. Oh, cool, I love it when my thing doesn't swap over. Yonde. So yonde's read. Yonda should be read. Though, of course, English says funny things. But, like, this one, like, called, pretty sure, yobu, to call. Thank you for the verb. Call out, or invite. I feel like there's, Isn't this verb also used actually in like summons? Like in like anime Fate, when they summon someone, I feel like they use like Yonde to do that. Yonde, sorry. From book 2, page 71. Ready? Hold on. Let me check our source here. Book 2, line 71. What was its Oh. It's a giant ass fucking grammar thing. It's a giant list of conjugations, that's why. So I think I must have looked this one up in the back of the book, which might explain why I don't have like the best grasp on it. Though it's probably used at some point in one of these things. Like correct. Good old tax. Good old tax evasion. I can't read these kanjis though. That is just tax evasion. Datsuse. Datsuse. Alright, here we go. Here's one that we can figure out. Okay. We have people. We have ki for spirit. That's Ninki. That's popular, right? Ninki ga arimasu. So, it is popular, is what that is. Ninki ga arimasu. The people's spirit is popular. Ninki. Carrera. Carrera. Yeah, God, so many R's. Carrera. Carrera. Oh, this is the plural form of males. Like, care is boyfriend, he or him. And if you were referring to a group of just boys or men, carrera. There's also josera, I think, as well, for females. Keshta. Turn off. Turn off, like electricity or like lights or switches and those kind of things. Like denkyo keshta, I turned off the light. But informal. Turned off. These are like we've been learning like the more informal things as opposed to like the first book that taught a lot of the very formal things, you know. Like this is also, you know, keshimashita. It's the same but more polite, but keshta. Oh good. Katakana time. Alright. Sutsu o kigaite ni ikimashita. Sutsu? Need coffee. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you have an air freshener? Just like get a baseball cap and hang an air freshener off of your face. Or something. Also, did I feel like I forgot to change. I still say that I'm doing Ring Fit, don't I? Let me just swap this to Celeste. Oh good, the keyword was still in Japanese. Okay. There we go. For breeze. I have a Hatsune Miku air freshener. Hatsune Miku air freshener that smells like lime. Also, hello Jess. Welcome. We're studying Japanese. I went to go change my suit. Kigaete is to change. Alright. Alright, one more and then we'll keep going. Oh god, kanji. Oh, it's familiar though. That's not gold. That's something else. It's a recent kanji though. Alright, I don't know. But I don't know what it is, but we're gonna think about it until I die next. Also, how are you, Jess? How was I assume that you streamed today, or maybe you didn't. Also, Yen, if you ever want an entertaining stream of retro games like N64 or Sneeze or those kind of things, Jess plays a lot of those. Kaisha. Ah, damn it, that's why it looks familiar. It's company, Kaisha. Kaisha. We just went over like a ton of sha words because we were going over like business stuff, or not business, what do you call them? Occupations and those kind of things. Like, there's a tons of stuff like Isha and everything like that. Not yet playing with the idea of it tonight, but who knows? Okay. How's the skin going? Have you never played Celeste? It's a good game. Celeste is going well. I am currently collecting golden berries, which is this lovely huge thing that's following me around, which is sort of, I guess you could say it's the end game of Celeste, but Celeste itself is a fun platformer, and throughout the levels you can collect strawberries just for points and like coolness. Yes, golden berries masochism mode. That's one way to put it. And golden berries unlock after you've beaten the game once. And it is if you die, you go back to the start of the level as opposed to the start of the screen. Because normally when you play Celeste, if you die, you just start back over at the screen and you go right away again. But the golden berries are kind of a challenge run where if you die, you go back to the very, very start. And this is the... Oh god, Yen, help me out here. This is level 6? Is that right? Of the like main story part of Celeste, there's 7 levels, I think. And this is the second to last level before like the super hard stuff that were kind of in the more expansion updates that came out with the game later, I believe. So it's really fun, and also very, very approachable. Like, the game starts off pretty easy, and you learn things pretty well, like pretty quickly, and it teaches you how to do certain things through the different kind of puzzles and things you have to solve to figure out how to get through each room. But it's never like, I would say that for the most part, the game never gives you a room that you can't figure out if you've managed to get to the room itself. And like mod maps are another story, but generally speaking, the game is really good for like learning. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Thank you, Yin. It's very friendly to all skill levels. And like, golden berries are totally optional. And I don't think I really ever intended on doing them when I first started playing the game. I mean, I didn't even know about them when I first started playing the game, honestly. But Celeste itself is really, really fun. And very like gratifying and simple. Like simple to learn and to play, and like tricky to master perfectly, but very rewarding when you do so. But I mean, you've been playing Elden Ring, so you know all about difficulty. So you're probably all over. You could do this in your sleep. Whee! Like this crow friend teaches you things sometimes. Elden Ring is so good. I still don't have it. I'm holding off on buying it, not only to like maybe hope for a patch to like fix any performance things, but also because I'm playing through other games and I don't want to like stop. I don't want to get distracted, you know? Alright, Kaisha, while we talk to Granny here. This isn't Goshujin, is it? No, that's not. No, that's not the right kanji. Or Shujin, rather. It's not a sha again. I'm just gonna click it. Residence or housing. Jutaku. Elden Ring is more accessible than the other Souls games? Oh, good to know. I know like the open world stuff means you probably don't have to fight bosses right away, I assume. Oh, here we go. Kodomo no Toki. This is when I was a kid. Kodomo no Toki. Right? Yes. Kodomo no Toki. And next, I'm going to do this last one, I'm going to keep going. Oh, hi, Davkent. No problem. Happy to see you here. Totemo. Another sha, right? Or no? Totemo something ni narimashita. I became something something. This, or is that's not Jozu. That's not Jozu. It's Totemo blank ni narimashita. I became something, because narimas is to become. It wouldn't be I became very good. Benri. Very convenient. Benri. Totemo benri ni narimashita. Am I using Duolingo? Nope. This is my own little flashcard system that I have, that I make the flashcards in order to study when I do my night class for Japanese. So part of my homework for myself is just making flashcards. Alright. Keitai. Oh, this is easy. Keitai, everyone knows what that is, right? I'll give you a hint. Give you a hint. Keitai. Pretty sure, right? Unless I'm mistaken and it's secretly stamps. Keitai. Cell phone. It's just like the generic word for cell phone. As opposed to what you would probably hear, honestly, which would be like smaho. Ask because I have a Duolingo family trial running at the moment. If you want to join, I can send you a link. Oh, I am currently taking Japanese classes. Like Monday nights, I do them with like a teacher and everything, and other classmates. So thank you, though. Oh, I thought it was form or shape. There might be, I mean, that could be a reading of a kanji for it. I wouldn't know, but definitely learn keitai as phone things. I'm supposed to go right? Wait, no, I'm not. Left is the way to go. Shoot. Link. You didn't know cell phone? For keitai or for smaho? Because if you didn't know smaho, that one wouldn't surprise me, because I feel like that one I know more because of like VTubers and that kind of thing. But keitai, yeah, like I think you can also hear like keitai denwa, because denwa is also phone, I believe. No, I pushed down too much. My bad. Damn it. Denwa. Oh, there we go. Denwa Bongo. Phone number. Denwa Bongo. So there's the other phone. These are random, by the way. Like, it's just choosing a random one out of the list, so it's kind of nice that it did that. Bucho. Bucho is like a section head. Like a department head. Like the head of your department in a corporation. Because bu is section. Like, there's a certain kanji for it, but I'm pretty sure that's what this lad is. Department manager. There we go. Bucho. Okay. This one. Shukuji kai? I think? Shukuji or shokuji? So it's the kanji for food. This one's the kai for like a thingy, like a party. And I think this is like abstract thing. I think. Shukuji kai? Shokuji kai. Shokuji kai. Not shu, shokuji. There is a shuku and there's a shoku, and I get them mixed up. But meal event or meal party. Shokuji kai. Alright, how about one more and then we'll keep Celestine away. See. Ohayo gozaimasu. Sorry. Yeah, no. Ohayo gozaimasu. Bruh. From book 1. It's good morning, everyone. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Everyone knows this one, though, right? There we go. How about, this is a better one. Seiga takai. That's your hint. Seiga takai. I know what this one is. I'll give you a hint. Madeline here, our character, she is not this. She is not Seiga takai. Tio is a little bit more than her in this department, I think. And Andre the Giant, you could describe with this, or Shaq, or a lot of basketball players. Oh, that was a really bad death. It's tall, by the way. Seiga takai. And if you were to say short, it's mijikatai. Mijikatai. Michi? Shit. Alright, I see small. Sui o nondeimasu. I think it's sui. That's the kanji for water, isn't it? Mijikai, thank you. Miji. Yeah, sui, which is oh sorry, that I'm reading it wrong. It's not sui, it's mizu. Mizu o nondeimasu. I'm drinking water. I am currently drinking water. This is the hydrate command. Where nonde is the te form of to drink, nomimasu, which is like a command, but when you combine it with imasu, it means the like present progressive. I think that's the right grammar term. It means doing it. I'm drinking is the ing form. I'm drinking water. Mizu. And then last one, then I'll keep going because that death was pathetic. Sho omachi kudasai. This is a good colloquial expression to know. Sho omachi kudasai. So let's see. You could say this if... I don't think you use it if someone was talking too slow, like too quickly. But if someone was like walking ahead of you and you needed them to slow down, maybe you could use it. I think. Sho omachi kudasai. So omachi kudasai is like, you know, slow down, stop. Slow down. Sho is hard to translate. But it's like it's like a little bit. Like please slow down a little bit. I believe. I think that's right anyway. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. Sho omachi kudasai. For conversation, I use yukuri. Yeah. If you were like if you needed someone to repeat something, yes, definitely. I'm trying to think. I feel like this would be used more in oh, that's a good version. So like a waiter would use this, for example. Fuck, I died. A waiter would use this like if they needed you to like be like, oh, like please wait a moment for your food, or like wait a moment before we show you to a table, that kind of thing. It's like the very formal version. So sho omachi kudasai is please wait a little bit. Polite. Korikara. From here on, from like this, from here. Korikara. Like from now. Starting now. But there's a lot of different meanings this can have in context because there's just a bunch of particles. Here we go. Grass. No, I'm kidding. It's kuruma. Kuruma de drive. Draibu o shimashou. Let's go for a drive. Because this is the kanji for car. De means that we are doing something by means of it. So by means of car. Draibu, literally drive, but katakana. O shimashou. Shimashou is to do, but with the let's do this form together. So let's go for a drive together in the car. Now one more and then we'll select some more. So these are fun, honestly. Shumatsu wa doko mo konde imasu. So weekend. So it's about your weekend. Dokomo means nowhere. Konde? Konde. Konde imasu. Konde imasu. I don't think that's key. Although konai is... But that's a weird sentence if it's what I think it is, which I don't think is right. For the weekend. Like, I'm thinking it's like I didn't go anywhere. But it's in the kondeimasu. Kondeimasu would be like coming? Like coming to somewhere? Like I didn't go anywhere? That is a weird construction though. Is that really what that is? No, that's why. No wonder I'm confused. On weekends it's crowded. Dokomo kondeimasu. Dokomo means nowhere. So there's nowhere to be? I think if you try to translate this literally, it's a very awkward sentence. The meaning crowded makes sense to me, but also that is a weird ass sentence. So I mean like Dokomo is the same as like Nanimo and that kind of thing. Like expressing nothingness or like the opposite. But yeah, reads everywhere, wherever, nowhere, nothing. Yeah. It's the same type of construction as Nanimo. Like nothing. But Dokomon is just specifically with Doko, which is the where particle. Like where something is. So yeah. Dokomo kondeimasu. Like the kondeimasu is the thing that throws me off. Cause I'm like it's to come. To come put into the present progressive form of like literally in the process of coming, but there's nowhere to come to. Which like you can translate less awkwardly into it's crowded, which makes sense, but it's just very weird. Is that sorry, I'm gonna what kanji hath thee put into the chat? Is that the actual kanji for the ko part of that, or? Boing. Sorry. Okay. For a second I think it's just because of the line underneath, but the little line that goes underneath all that always reminds me of the kanji for weekend. Or, yeah, for shu, for week. Not weekend. Whee! I love the momentum. I gotta make sure to split things up between the game and the studying, or else people are gonna get scared. It's too much to learn at once. To be scared is kawaii. Kawaii ni narimashita. I've become scared. Pizza eater. Oh. Mite kara. Kawaii ni narimashita. After watching Pizza Eater, I've become scared. Is what that is. We learned the I think it was 2 weeks ago, we learned the tekara form, which like made my brain hurt the first time we saw it because the explanation wasn't very good until I read the book explanation. But it's like a way to express like after something has been done. Which is very useful as far as like making up stories or like expressing things. So, oh shoot, I hadn't done this yet, but I know both these kanjis, so whatever. Hima no toki, when I have free time. Yoku onsen ni ikimasu. When I have free time, I go to the hot spring. Man, wouldn't that be nice? So another fun, like, this is Toki business again? Oh god, oh god, oh god. Well, we made it to Grandma. Which means that maybe we'll make it to Battleline. You usually see this. It's kind of blowing your mind. Wait, are you still talking about the kon? The konda imasu? Konde imasu? Yeah. I don't know, man. Kanji are wild. Like, they are by far the hardest thing, I think. Like, really cool when, like, you get a, like, understanding of some of them and how they work. Fuck! Oh, I screwed up the wave dash. Damn it. Oops. Although, just noting though, for anyone for anyone who hasn't played Celeste before, the game is really fun and it's really good, much less masochistic if you're not doing a golden berry, because it is much more forgiving in that you start at the beginning of each room whenever you die. So you learn how to do the rooms really well and like get through them, and then you stay past them, and it's great and lovely and fun. Golden berry is only for weirdos like me. For people who played all the levels, including the B and C sides, and then mod maps, and then still said, you know what, I want to keep playing Celeste. But the Toki stuff is fun though. Hima no Toki, when I have free time, like you could basically just add Toki onto the end of things and it expresses like the time of this, basically. So like Kodomo literally means like children or kid. So Kodomo no Toki translates to like when I was a kid. So like, you could easily do the same thing for like adult, like otona. If you want to say when I was an adult, like I don't really know when you would say that, but when I was an adult, otona no Toki. Otona no Toki. Although, I forget, I think there are a couple rules around combining it with some things, like with adjectives versus nouns versus other things, but I think all that really changes is if you're combining it with like no or not. Like Hima no Toki. Hima just means free time or like free. Like if you were to say that I don't have any free time, you would be like Hima ga arimasen. I don't have any, like literally I don't have any free time. As in it is a thing that I don't have. But it's a na adjective, so with Toki you do Hima no Toki. Well, like children is obviously a noun, so it gets combined using no. So like if you wanted to talk about like stream time, I guess you could be like stream no Toki. I forget if I haven't watched, I don't think I've ever heard like a VTuber specifically say stream before. They probably just say doga, probably, which is video, hence doga, Nico doga. I don't know why I went back to the wall. You don't need to. You can just keep going. Whee! I hate feathers so much. Although, I mean, they're fine, but when you get turned into a feather and you don't expect it, that's the pain point. And no, crow control is not on. Fuck! Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Okay, what do this was right. This was the one we went over. Nana. Here you go. Here's an easy one. Ready? Seven. Nana. Nana. Nana nana. Seven. Okay. My. Right? In front of. Pretty sure? Like my in front before. There we go. We're good. Hello, piss good? Piss good? I almost said piss good, and I don't want to like insult you by saying it the wrong way. Peace good. Okay, we'll do one more flashcard and then we'll do a little bit more Celeste. Alright, here we go. Hotonda. There's that one again. Hotonda, which is almost mainichi. Hotonda mainichi. So almost every day. Gaishoku shoku ga... Oh, sorry. Gaishoku ka konbini no bento. Bento desu. Okay. So almost every single day, gaishoku ka. Gaishoku ka. Gaishoku ka konbini no bento desu. So the last part's obvious, right? Konbini no bento desu is a convenience store bento, like a boxed meal. Almost every day. Gaishoku. Gaishoku. I feel like I'm missing, like I feel like it's supposed to be like gaishoku kai, which would be like lunchtime. Like almost every day lunchtime is a convenience store. Book 2. Hold on, I'm gonna check my book real quick to see if the sentence is right. Let's see here. Hotonda mainichi. No, yeah. Gaishoku ka. Konbini no bento desu. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna get that. It's eating out. And apparently I don't like these. But like, it's like, you know, eating out. Like, instead of eating in, like, inside an office or something like that, I go out to eat. So, almost every day, like, when I go out to eat, basically, I have a convenience store meal. Or convenience store meals. That's what the ka is there for. Okay. It's not a mix that I run into as often, but that makes sense. Sorry. I think the reason why part of that is confusing is that for that particular one, I was pulling the example sentence out of dialogue from the conversation piece of that chapter. So there was like additional context around there that probably would have made that better. My bad. Okay, world's simplest one. That was a quick death, so I'll do a quick flashcard. Wakaranai. I don't understand. I don't understand. Wakaranai. Koho. Alright, we'll mull over Koho in the meanwhile. Koho. Not to be confused with Koko, which is high school. Koho. But yeah, welcome. Peace, good. Didn't know you were studying Japanese. Hopefully, maybe some of this is refresher or learning or something useful. And we gotta make sure to give ourselves like a brain break by playing Celeste and working on the Golden Berry. Koho. Koho. They're both long. Koho. Koho. I'm thinking... Does it have anything to do with high school? Or like... something like that? Koho. Like a classroom something? Already added Gaishoku to the flashcards. There you go! This is good. We're all learning. So like, fuck. Oh, I just messed that up. Well, I guess I'll die. All right. What is Koho? Public relations. It's an occupation. Koho. Public relations. It's PR. All right. Hajimemashita. Oh, hajimemashita. Hello. Nice to meet you. How do you do? Literally, like, it's the first time. Yokatta. Oh, come on. We're getting all the easy ones now. This is like, oh, thank goodness. Ooh, good past tense. Oh, good. Alright, come on. A couple more and then we can do it tomorrow. Here we go. Here's a kanji one at least. Ato gofunde niju desu. After 5 minutes and 2 hours? Oh no, this is not. This is like someone asked you what time it is. Ato gofunde niju desu. It's God. It's 5 past 2, right? I feel like if this is like a construction of it's like 5 minutes to 2, I'm gonna be mad. But I'm pretty sure it's 5 minutes after 2 because Auto's after. Damn it! It was that. In 5 minutes, it will be 2 o'clock. That also makes sense, but also like, Auto gofunde niju desu. That makes sense. After 2 minutes, day by means of, it is 2. Well, at the very least, I recognize the kanjis for 5 and 2, and part/minute. So that's a plus. Kikanai, kiku, kiku. Listen? I always get listen and ask confused. But yes, this is don't listen. And kangoshi. Kangoshi. Well, I remember what bengoshi is. That one's an attorney or lawyer. Kangoshi. 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 I feel like this is another occupation. Kangoshi. Kan. Secretary? I think it might be secretary. Kangoshi. I think. Kangoshi. Kangoshi is... nurse! Ah, damn it. Kangoshi. It's a nurse. Got to the point where it's easier kanji. I'm sure it is. The book I have, Japanese for Busy People, 2, is what my Japanese night class uses, and it introduces about 10 kanji every chapter or so. So for all the things that it hasn't like hit on kanji yet, I'm still just writing in kana. Alright, here we go. I see a bunch of trees. And also, is that the kanji for tallness again? But those would be tall trees. Not 6 trees though, it's not Roppongi. Because that one's also 3 kanji, I think. Oh, this isn't a name, right? It looks so familiar. It really does. Doesn't it look familiar? Wait. Gakse? Is this a school? No, wait. It doesn't have like the normal thing, but for some reason I remember the little tree-like things being school. It is! Okay, I didn't have the right pronunciation, but it is high school. It's Koko. High school. Koko. Koko, high school. God, you gotta get the reading and the meaning right. Oshienai. Don't teach me. Don't tell me. Oshienai. That's what I should be saying when I'm like trying to like struggle. It's like on the tip of my tongue. It's like Oshienai, Oshienai. Koko. That one is like... I feel like that is a perfect example of like why kanji is so difficult. Because those are same word, 2 different kanjis, same pronunciation. Koko. What a world. I do enjoy some of the kanji that I learned though. Like some of the things is like less, oh man, that's really hard to learn, and more, man, that's really cool and makes sense. Like big person is adult. It's great. Roppongi is 6 trees. I don't remember what Hokkaido is, but I'm sure that its kanji means something to do with fucking snow, you know? Like, if it doesn't, I would be very surprised. Or it's like north something, right? Hokkaido? Isn't it like North City or North something? Because it's so far north. On the other hand, if you know that ko is high and ko is school, it could be easy to decipher. True. That's why it looks familiar. The high part. That kanji is used in Sega Takai, right? Like tall? Right? Like that is the kanji used for tall? Okay. We saw it like 5 minutes ago. No wonder. Or well, maybe like 15 minutes ago, rather. But okay. The first step to learning kanji is to make them start feeling like they're familiar, I suppose. So that and writing them actually really helps. But I've been having a hard time like properly finding the time to do that and like actually go through the whole process of it, because then like I don't know, for me at least, I remember like the stroke order and everything, and like it gets easier to remember it. It probably also helps that I write them like 10 times over repeatedly and such to get the repetition in, while like repeatedly saying what they are to myself like some kind of crazy mad person. But whatever works, right? We don't all have like the luxury of like aiming ourselves correctly at a bumper. We don't have that luxury. This is that one? Okay. From book 1, page 10. 1. Ichi. Ichi. Hello, Mr. Familiar once more. Food thing. Shoku. Shoku? Not shokuchi, right? But shoku? Yes, no. It does have a G. Shokuji. Actually, that makes sense. Meal time. G. Time. Shokuji. Uchi no chikaku. So near my house. Uchi no chikaku o arukimasu. I walk near my house. Or let's walk near my house. Well, not let's, because it's not a show, but I walk near my house. Okay, next one. And Daibutsu o mita kotoba o rimasu ka. Daibutsu. That's like the great Buddha statue. Daibutsu o mita kotoba arimasu. So I remember what this is, and I know what it is. I'll let it stay on the screen for a second or so, and then swap to this. So like, this is grammar, is what this is. This is the kotoba there, I believe, if I'm remembering right anyway, is saying like, have you ever experienced this thing? So like, have you ever seen the great Buddha, is what this is saying. But the kotoba there, is like literally saying, it's like, have you ever done this before? Have you ever experienced this before? I feel like there's like some more interesting things around that for like literal translation, but I don't know them yet because we haven't covered them. More just like the book went over, checking like, it's like, oh, experiences and how you do these things. Have I been doing these study sessions often? You mean like with Celeste in Japanese specifically? This would be the first one actually. So like Tuesdays and Thursdays are my Ring Fit and Ring Fit and chill, I guess. I do Ring Fit for an hour and then I play like whatever game afterwards. And today I was like, well, I'm gonna play Celeste, but let's mix it up. And I was talking to Yen and he mentioned that he was doing some kanji practice. And that gave me the idea to be like, oh, well, I have these little flashcard things that I have. What if I do a couple flashcards every time I die in order to kind of mix studying and doing this? Hi, Yen. I was just talking about you. About how you kind of inspired doing flashcards while playing Celeste. So yeah, that's good. Not often, but I kind of am enjoying this a lot and kind of want to do it again. Oh, it's fun. Please do it again. Yeah. I mean, it's good practice for me, honestly. And like the I don't know why, but the book chapters and like the assignments that we have for homework have been a lot recently, where it's like 3 or like here, let me just show you. It won't be the best of quality here, but like there we go. So like it'll be like 5 or 6 pages of exercises, which aren't hard. Like I don't know how well you'll be able to see, especially because the light's garbage. Although I have a ring light I could throw on. But like the exercises are really easy because it's like, here, fill in the example, or like use the example to fill in the sentence in the way to do grammar. It has like 5 things. But then on top of that, like you get shit like this. So this is practice 2, word power. So you get cute pictures, right? And I know that it's hard to see, but you can get the gist of it. This is like 3 columns of vocab. And then the other side has like 3 additional columns of vocab for like occupations, field of expertise, and divisions of a company. So like there's a shit ton of stuff to make flashcards for and such, and it's a lot. Like currently, so like the first 2 weeks of my class, I made 613 flashcards. And at like 300 of those were from me like taking the notes that I had and then going through the book for the previous classes that I had taken and getting that first half of the book done. And then the other like 300 plus were from going through all these other things. So like there's a shit ton of stuff to go through and not enough time to do it in a week when I'm really busy with stuff. So this is great for me, actually. The problem being so dependent on kanji is that my listening skills are trash. Oh. Progress. So I'm going to just do measurement TV and learn English, kind of touch you otherwise. Yeah. I think immersion is really important, but also super hard to do. Like, unless you're constantly consuming VTubers or something, I feel like most people don't get a lot of Japanese listening practice. Though I watch a lot of anime. I watch seasonal anime, so I get that. But also, anime English is probably not what you want to learn if you want to talk to people in like a normal way without sounding like a weirdo. I mean, like you run around Japan going wari wari wa, like you're gonna sound like you came out of like the 1700s or something, or like you watch too much anime. So that said, like I remember actually, so like I imagine for anyone who's learned any Japanese in any serious manner, and I don't mean like taking a class, I mean just like you're taking it seriously and like really trying to learn, you probably stumble across Dogen at some point in his comedy / pitch accent stuff on YouTube. And I kind of wish I hadn't. Like it's really like good stuff and interesting, and I like the comedy skits that he does. But also it is way too overwhelming and destroys motivation. Because like he has a whole series on like pitch accent that he does and like sells for Patreon and such. But it's overwhelming. Like for me at least, it's overwhelming feeling to be like, all right, you need to learn, you know, your 2,000 regular kanji to read a newspaper, and then on top of it learn all these different contexts and politeness and everything else, and then grammar, and learn English again basically so that you actually understand the grammar. And then on top of all this other stuff, by the way, here's pitch accent, which means that hashi and hashi are 2 different words, and you might not know it, but also it might be spoken differently between 2 different regions of the country, so it doesn't really matter, but it does matter, and like all this other stuff, and like it's a lot. And it like it I feel like it's really important if you want to sound like a native speaker, but also like I don't think any... No, come back! I don't think any Japanese person is gonna begrudge you having a foreigner accent if you're foreign. You know? Like, they'll make do. They can understand you're talking about chopsticks and not a bridge. Like, unless you're an architect out for lunch, I feel like you're probably gonna be okay. Dogen's comedy is great, though. I do enjoy that, but I do kind of wish that I hadn't never seen the pitch accent stuff. Not that I don't think it's important, because it definitely is, but when you have so much to learn, and then you get, like, a giant textbook thrown at your face, basically, it can be demotivating, I think. For me. For other people, it might be, like, even more motivating or something. And his, the study techniques that he's listed are good. Also, did I skip a death? Sorry. Like, should I be doing a flashcard? My bad. I kind of got distracted talking about Dogen, pitch accent stuff. If a Japanese person comes to ask you a bizarre question about us in a manner, it's not like in contact, I'm not going to correct them. Right. Yeah. Like, in my work, I work with people who have very thick accents or, like, English as a second language. So, like, I'm used to translating from broken English into, like, you don't need English to be perfect to understand it, and I imagine it works both ways. So, we do this one already? Oh yeah, this was the Great Buddha. Have you ever seen the Great Buddha statue? So the kotoba ga arimasu, or like the kotoba stuff specifically is kind of what implies this. That is like saying, have you ever done this? Oh, this is kind of a weird one. But A hoteru, it's like Hotel A, just like no name hotel. Wa Tokyo, I think that's Tokyo. A hotel wa Tokyo de Ichiban Yume. It's okay. Hotel A is the most famous hotel in Tokyo, or rather, the most famous hotel in Tokyo is Tokyo A. I feel like you could translate this, but it's the most famous. Ichiban Yume. Sorry, not Yume. Yume. Hotel A is the most famous in Tokyo. That's better. Next. Do a couple more. Doshite? Doshite naranakattan desu ka? Why did it become this way? Sorry, no, why didn't it? Hold on, God. Naranakattan desu. So it's narimas, but then put in the past and negative. Naranakattan desu. And it's also form. It's past negative asking for a response form. So, doshite. It's like, why didn't it get that way? Why didn't you become one? Yeah, okay. How long have you been studying Japanese? I can tell you when I started the night classes that I do. Probably. Let me see if I can find like the very first one. Maybe. I'm looking at my email to see if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. Maybe if I search for JS. Here we go, maybe. Japanese level 2, 2019. Yeah, I emailed myself the link to the classes in September of 2019. But have previously attempted to teach myself Japanese without that before, and also did, I think in 2018? In 2018, I did the italki thing, where like you talk to someone, like you pay someone to chat with and like tutor you a little bit. And I did that for a month or so before I went to Japan for a month. And before that, I have a Gengi book that I never got through, and some other stuff like that I used to look at in 8th grade that I never did very well. So like off and on, a lot of anime, but then only like serious actual study with a teacher, like actually helping guide through stuff, 2019. But terrible at kanji, obviously, considering that I'm only learning it kind of in the past year or so. Mise. This is a shop. This is a shop. Mise. I recognize it because it's like a shop sign. Boompro.jp. Hanami. Flower viewing. Like cherry blossoms. This is probably literally like the kanji for flower and the kanji for eyeball or viewing or seeing, I bet. Hanami. Trying to spend as little money as possible. You should, if you can, like, look for any sort of like societies, like statewide societies or those kind of things. Because like in the state that I'm in, there's like a Japanese American society, and they offer the classes that I'm taking, and they're cheap, like $150 per class, which is like a single semester class basically. And like so far in those, we've each gotten like halfway through a book. Hello Talk, free and could do. VR chat was actually the first thing that I thought of when I was thinking about like trying to like really study for Japanese. But also, unless I'm like horribly drunk, I don't really like talking to people, let alone attempting to talk to someone in a language that I'm like really not good at. You know? But I'm sure that VR chat would be the best way to learn, probably. Like if you could go and find Japanese people who'd be willing to like help you and such, and who didn't just want to practice their English, which like, so my sister lives in Japan. One of my sisters lives in Japan and has for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now at this point. But one of the things that she told me is it can be hard, for her at least, it's hard for her to actually get the Japanese people she knows to practice Japanese with her, because they all want to practice their English with her, which is kind of funny. Look. Anime long. Yenar, oh boy. Is Boom Pro and Anime Line, all those things on your little, I remember you had like a little page before on GitHub that had like a bunch of resource links and such. Are those also on there? I'm curious because I feel like I'm gonna not necessarily get around to it if the chat scrolls far up. Oh, enough, they're gone. Damn it. Oh, what was this? Kochira. Oh, this is like over here, like right here. This, close to me, like if you're on the phone, or just a very polite this. Heijitsu? Heijitsu no hou ga benri desu. Well, this is more convenient, whatever it is. Heijitsu. God, that I know what that is. Heijitsu. Heijitsu no hou ga benri desu. It's Heijitsu. Jitsu. It's not the bus, right? Is this a means of transport? Heijitsu. Weekdays. No, I was way off. Weekdays are more convenient. Jitsu. Jitsu is like time, right? Maybe? Jitsu. Weekdays are more convenient. So good grammar there though. No hou ga blank desu. It's the more part, without including the yori bit to like say that something is more convenient than something else. Well, here we go. Hantoshi. Half a year, I think. Right? Half year? Hantoshi. Because I don't think anyone ever says Hannen. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. I'm pretty sure it's Hantoshi. Shoot! No! I clicked next instead of swap. Alright. Hey, hanbaga o tabenai desu. So sorry, tabenai de yasai o tabeta hou ga ii desu yo. We can put this in sentences that I would never say to anyone. Also, the thing's getting a little cut off. Let me open that up for you. This is, again, there's like context here, sort of like if you're having a conversation with someone and they were like, oh man, I only eat hamburgers all the time. I never eat anything else. Then this is like, you shouldn't eat hamburgers all the time. Vegetables are good too. Like you should also eat vegetables. Hamburger o tabenai de. So the day here is connecting two sentences. It's like a semicolon almost. This is just a little connecting thing. Yasai o tabeta hou ga ii desu is saying that like you should do this. And the yo bit is like very like you should do this. It is better to do this than that. You shouldn't eat hamburgers. Eating vegetables is better. Alright, let's stare at this. Oh, that's from class too. Nope, no idea. Celeste. Maybe if I stare at it long enough, it will come. It's from class though. God. Oh God, woo, wait. Interesting. NHK easy. Ouch. I do like the feeling of progress you get when you start understanding anime though. And like you can look away from subtitles and occasionally like actually know what the hell is going on. That's a great feeling. And I feel like Nichijou and other like pretty nice ones like that are good. Not all the time, but like that's one where I feel like I've like been able to understand more than less, I guess. No, get me out of that! That's the second time today that I've done that. What is this? Kekkon suru. It's to get married. Kekkon. Marriage. Kekkon. So it's like a little bride and groom. Or groom and bride. This is... Isn't this kind of close to women? One day in. Ichido, I think? No, that's not right. Is it? This is not Naka, I don't think. Or it wouldn't be red Naka. And that's the sun. Oh, is this Ichido like one time? Once more? No, all day long. Had the one day part right, I guess. Ichi Nichi Ju. Ju. Oh, that makes sense. Like Chugoku. Ichi Nichi Ju. Maybe, actually no. Never mind. Forget that I said that. Do I want to know what this oh god, the flashcards. Do I want to know? This is legit a Wanikani word. Ichinichi ju iputasai. Iputasai. There you go. All day long polygamy. There we go. There's some vocab you could take away from today's stream. How about that? All day long polygamy. Party. Throw a kai on the end of that. All day long. If you put bon in there instead of Nietzsche, it's all night long. I'm just saying. Just saying. That's all. Gonna throw that one out there for vocab usage. You could say like iputasai oh nate kara after becoming polygamous. Ichinichi ju to ichiban ju to shimashita. And then all you heard was Kevin noises. Boing! I love that momentum. Oh god. Yuck. Yeah. It really sucks when you can't actually read kanji. You're just kind of like looking at it like, As usual, got a cool nose, so I can see your nose hairs today. I'm getting flashbacks to high school because my my first girlfriend had a nose ring, and it always grossed me out. Like whenever she'd like take it out to like clean it and those things or anything like that, I was like, gross. As usual, you've got a cool nose ring. What? Is this a Wanikani sentence? Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. I didn't see your sentence about that. That is a weird sentence. Like, not that some of my sentences are better, but most of my sentences are like in a context of an office environment or something going on or people meeting up to go to a museum on the weekend or something. An Eibijitsu? I think it's an art museum. Eibijitsu? I mean, if it teaches you something and like it sticks in your brain by using weird, silly sentences, then I mean, it works, right? Though imagine if you met someone who learned English only through memes, and then they just spoke to you in poggers all the time. Like, bruh, those real poggers. And you're like, wait, what? What are you talking about? We just closed the deal on this big contract. Like, yeah, bro, this poggers. And then you just start having a stroke right there. Apparently, can mean being infatuated with women as well as nose hair. You use poggers at work, unironically. So, we all know that that Ian learned English through memes. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I do use memes at work. I have oh boy. I have a folder of chens that I use when I communicate with some of the users of our systems. And one of the people who's like really good for like QA testing to me and like user testing and making sure things work, if she runs into a problem with the system, she honks twice to me. Or if there's like the problem is fixed, then she'll just honk once. If you have no idea who Chen is, that probably sounds very weird. Chen is a Toho character with 2 little tails and such, and there's a meme that's been around on the internet for a very long time that they honk a horn all the time and such. And it's... hold on. You know what, let me just... Chen goes fishing. Let me just, real quick, mute the game for you. Chen goes fishing. This is Chen right here. Here are the horns. And, yeah. They're going fishing. That's all. Just wanted you to understand what I was talking about. Anyway, what is this? Hayai desu ne. Oh, this is fast or early. It could be fast or early depending on context. Like if you walked into the office and like you see that like someone is there and you're like, wow, they normally come in at 10 o'clock. What is this? Hayai desu ne. Like you're early. Chugoku, China. Right? Chugoku? China. Whose kanji is also in here somewhere in the flashcards. This is from book 1, so it's not the kanji form. But China's kanji is Middle Land, right? Like Naka and Kuni, but it's Chu and Chugoku, I think. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Middle Land or inside land. Like Naka is in like in the middle of kind of thing, and land or something. I don't know if I'm really reading those kanjis right, but that's how I remember it. So, at the very least. Asobanai. Don't play. Don't play. Negative form of asobu. Oh man, this is a big one. Okay, hold on. Tell you what, we'll get to grandma before we tackle that one. Or at least we'll attempt to. What is that second kanji? I mean, I see Kuni in it again. Or land. That second one has been adapted to mean Nicolas Cage. What? I want more information. I love Nicolas Cage. Why does it mean Nicolas Cage? It's supposed to be National Treasure. Oh. Oh, that's funny. That's good. That is good. Alright. Motto oki no wa arimasen ka? Imoto wa watashi yori se ga takai desu. Okay, here you go. This is a sentence like context-wise. You're at a store, like a J.C. Penney's or a Macy's or any of those stores that actually exist anymore. You're in a mall, shopping for clothes, and you're getting something for your sister, your little sister. And you're talking to the salesperson. You're like, man, I need this, but it's not the right size. I need one a little bit bigger. So like, moto oki no wa. So like, oki and no combined is like, you know, like you might say that. Like, there'd be something combined with it normally, right? Like, whatever you're talking about. Like, if it was a dress or a shirt. Like, oki no shatsu. Like, that's there. But it's dropped because the person you're talking to knows what you're talking about. And this whole thing is the subject that you are talking about, so the wa comes there. So, motto oki no wa, like, another one of these, or a bigger one. It's like the English translation of this. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. Motto oki no wa arimasen ka? Like, do you have another one of them? Imo, and then since you ended it like this, you offer the explanation, right? Like, imoto wa watashi yori se ga takai desu. Like, my sister is taller than I am. You have a bigger one. My little sister is taller than I am. And that I like that one because it's a good reminder on how to put the comparison up with the Yori in it. Because like there's like Yori and whole, and like if you want to put everything together super grammatically correct, you would use both, but a lot of the time you drop them depending on what makes sense for context and such, so. But I don't know, I think it's a good sentence. We need a Genshin player in JP. Player in JP. Doesn't is it Logo who plays entirely in JP or in Japanese? Yeah, doing that for my EU account, but it's boring solo. For your EU account, one Genshin account is not enough for you, with all the grinding involved in everything there. Yeah, bae. It's like having multiple FGO accounts that you spend money on. It's just... Okay, we're good. It's not a grind because you don't make progress. Okay, fair. That's fair. That is... To be fair there, I did have an alt account on FGO that I was using for streaming, like just to stream the story for a little bit. I haven't done it in a while, but one of my goals is to get through Super Paper Mario in the JP version. Ooh, that is a good goal. I had one of the other students in my class. One of her goals, and she got like a Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts, and she wants to play through that. But I mean, like, Kingdom Hearts is insane enough without not understanding it, so that's like a very impressive goal. So all the best of luck to her. It has Furigana, which is good for you. Oh yeah, that's another good one actually. Like that might be hard, but maybe good for that. But Earthbound, or rather Mother, the original Mother series, both 1 and 2, are pretty much entirely in hiragana and katakana with no kanji. So like that might be harder possibly, but also like is readable to anyone who has just like that low level stuff. So Bum. Damn it, baddie. Oh, battle line. We were doing so well. We've been told that Ni no Kuni is pretty good for learning too. I have that. I have it on the PS3, and I think I also have it on Steam. Weird, for some reason. I don't know why. It must have been in a Humble Bundle, but pretty sure I have it. I think. Which one comes first, M or N? I thought I have it anyway. Ni no, or maybe not. Maybe I don't have it on Steam. I thought I did. Weird. Alright, whatever. I have it on PS3, I think. Or Xbox 360. I have it on a console. Lawyer bought it for you on Steam, but you couldn't change language. It's localized. Ah, that sucks. That sucks. Still. Fun though. Though daunting. I feel like it's like... It's very, like committing to that localization chain, or not localization, like the setting to be like, I will play this in Japanese, and then seeing menus in it, and you're like, oh gosh. But that would be cool. Okage-sama de. You could always buy it, then pirate it. Yeah. I mean, like, the official like way to emulate, right, is to dump the copy, like to dump your own copy and then play it or whatever. So if you buy it, then I feel like there's no issue with like using an actual like pirated ROM to do it, because you did buy it. Okage-sama de. Okage-sama de. Isn't this just like good work? Like good job, Okage. Thanks to you, Okage. Okage-sama de. thanks to you. I feel like that's probably not a literal translation there, but I'll get something. Keiriki. Keiriki. I think this is another profession or occupation of some variety. Probably say you got the entirety of One Punch Man Volume 3 in Japanese. Wow. Good job. Actually, remember I started learning hiragana and katakana and those things because I have the box set of Steel Angel Kurumi in Japanese, because the last 2 volumes were never localized and never released in English, and I wanted to complete them. And my sister bought me, as like a birthday / Christmas gift, she got me the entire set, even though I only asked for the last ones because she couldn't find the individuals. She could only find someone selling all of them. So I got the entirety of the Steel Angel Kurumi manga. But Keiriki. Reiki. Oh wait. Reiki is history. K. Isn't it? Isn't Reiki history? I think this is an occupation. Personal history. Personal history. I had half of it. Personal history. Keiriki. Where's the magic thing? Where's the magic thing? How come? Man, the Steam controls are lame. Steam controls, what am I saying? The web controls. If I click on someone's name in chat, I have like options to ban people and those things, but I don't have the option to follow. How'd they do that after? Konbanwa. Oh, here we go. Easy. Guys, do you know what this one means? Any idea? Because I don't know, man. I don't know what Konbanwa could be. That's what I said to every Japanese streamer, they respond in English. Well, that's nice. Do they just like read that your name is in English and then respond to you in English? A little close. I mean, that's what it is, right? Oh, actually, as far as streamers go, if you don't already, a good streamer, I think, for learning is Pikami from Bombs, because she streams in both English and Japanese at the same time and like translates herself live. Slash, like, we'll say something in one language and then repeat it or translate it into another. She also speaks like 3 different languages at least, but she mainly streams only in English and Japanese. And she's also rather entertaining and sounds like a tea kettle when she laughs. So if you haven't ever heard a tea kettle laugh, then there you go. She's also just like generally a pretty endearing person. So take it easy, Yen. Oh god, I just messed that up. I'll do my best. I feel like I'm not getting the bear tonight, but I made some pretty good progress today. Like we got to in the Badline bit, we got to boss room 5 out of 20, which is at least 5 more rooms than we had previously. So the last time I streamed the berry attempt and whatnot, I could get past Grandma a little bit, but not too much further. But no, this is really fun. I like chatting about Japanese and sharing things, and honestly, like, I feel like it's motivating to have people around for that kind of thing too. So, and I think it's good. Like, learning a language is hard enough trying to do stuff by yourself, but it's nice if you can kind of get people, have people around you to motivate you or to pressure you to play Super Mario RPG in Japanese. So, I would definitely be doing this again, I think. Probably, like, most likely restricted around like Tuesday, Thursdays though, FYI. Just because the relaxing time with whatever game comes after I play Ring Fit for an hour is like the time for this, so. And Golden Berries take a long time to do, and I still have the B-sides to do too. Or B and C sides for Golden Berries. I've beaten them once already, but I haven't gotten the Golden Berries for them. I've started with the A sides for that, so. Boing. B. Yeah, how, out of curiosity, how far are you in Celeste? Or like, do you play mod maps a lot, or? Because I did some fun mod maps for a little while. Like after I beat the A, B, and C sides, I had a couple people recommend me some good mods like Glyph and Journey to the Stars and other ones. So that's good. I'm not like super into it. Like one of the people who would come by a lot, who had a lot of really good mod recommendation stuff, does like the summer or like spring mod pack. Like it's like seasonal or something. Like there's a Discord, I assume, or something around Celeste, and they do all sorts of crazy stuff with that. So haven't played a ton of mods, but I recently got to 1,000 hours in the game. Oh wow, nice job. I don't have that many hours. I have a solid 138 hours. So, not bad. But it's fun. It's a great game, honestly. Just like the gameplay is so tight. I feel like as far as platformers go, it's definitely one of the best that I've played. And like the funny thing is that like I remember when I played Hollow Knight, a lot of people mentioned Celeste in reference to Hollow Knight sometimes, even though like they both do have platforming in them. But Celeste is not a combat game. No matter how many Seekers you throw at yourself or how many Oshiros chase you. Though I will say, one of the most fun mods, fun isn't... I'm gonna call it fun for now. One of the most fun mods that I've done a stream with has been the crow control mod. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's a Twitch integration where people can spend channel points in order to summon enemies or like change things, like make Maddie into a feather or give her another jump, those kind of things, or summon Oshiro to destroy you. And I played through the entire like regular base game, no berries. Oh, oops, wrong way. Wait, what? Yeah, wrong way. I played through the whole base game, like up through the summit with Crow Control on, and those were some very chaotic streams. Because I made the point values for summoning things very low. You can see it. It won't work right now if you trigger it in the channel point section, but they're pretty low for the actions and such. So I'd have a lot of angry Seekers running after me all at once. And we actually found a few rooms that are impossible to do if there's a snowball on the screen. But for the most part, I got through it, and it was really fun. I don't know when I plan on doing it again because it is very masochistic to do. I suppose I need to be in the right mood for it because it's very much like Twitch chat bullies the streamer while he attempts to do something. Oh shoot, I messed up. Damn wall. I like doing the wave dash there and getting across quickly without using the bounce. But yeah, it's fun. Though, when, like, if the Twitch chat summons... If every single person in the chat, like, summons a snowball, because it summons one for each of them up to a certain limit, and then they all, like, summon a bunch of Seekers, and then on top of that, 2 Oshiros flying at you, and then you're doing a room that has multiple segments to it that, like in Resort, for example, the room right before you go into the master bedroom, or not bedroom. Yeah, bedroom. The room right before you go to the roof. That long section where you already have to dodge a bunch of stuff and everything. That room took a long time because chat was mean. I did it, but at some point, depending on how many pieces of the mod are active, it becomes more luck than skill because of the Seeker RNG. Because the Seekers are the only thing that are RNG in the Crow Control, like where they spawn is just randomly placed on the map screen. So they might be in a really good position, or they might be in a terrible position, or they might make it nearly impossible to do something. So, whee! Planning on doing it when you actually have people watching. Ah, Crow Control is fun. I think the people who go and like, I don't want to say troll, but I can't think of a better word for it. I don't mean troll as in troll face. I mean like, there are people who like subscribe on Twitch to like Celeste itself, like the game, so they can just watch people watch Celeste. And I feel like those kinds of people do look out for Crow Control and such and kind of swing by when they see people doing it. So, but it's fun. It is a fun thing to do. Oh, that was okay. We're good. Saw someone do Crow Control alone once and it made you sad. I could, yeah. That is one of the things about streaming, right? Is that you don't always have viewers, so viewer interaction things can be tricky. Though, like, I mean, things that like really require viewer interactions, like Jackbox or those things, tend to get people, and then once you get a few people, it feels like sometimes like the trolls start coming out, and then you kind of have to deal with that. Jackbox is specifically kind of what I'm talking about, but Crow Control is good though. Whee! Okay, I should do a flashcard before we do this. We're good there. All right, book 2. Oyoida, sorry. I think this is the past tense of swimming. Pretty sure this is the past tense of swimming. Like Oyogu. Oyoida. Or is it the E there? Is that right? It is. Swam. Past form of swim. Oyoida. Toki? No. Asa. Shit. This is... is it morning or is it time? I think it's Asa. I think this is... Right? Because there's... No, that's more like the... Oh god. Brain. Is it time or is it... No, it's Asa, right? Yes, okay, it is. It's morning. Morning. Asa. Asa. That one's familiar enough because like a lot of example sentences have like my Asa and those kind of things, so... Okay, I see Iku in here. I see to go. I also see... It looks like the meal one again, almost. But that doesn't make much sense to me. To go? Shukuchi? I wonder about that. Alright, let's get past this box before we reveal the answer. I love the Kevin noises. Alright, and the answer is bank. Ginko. Ginko. Well, there's the kanji, or like there's the part for gold, right? I think. Pretty sure that's gold. Is this the right kanji? Ginko. Silver King. Yeah, yeah, Ginkgo. It's like literally like go to the silver. go to the place with the money in it. Ginkgo. Abstract thing coup. Not like Seiku or something. I fear this is another occupation, maybe, but coup makes me think it's like an adverb. Why do I want to say like Seiku? I don't even know what that would be. Kaku, to write. Are you using an SRS right now? No. Nope. This is not fancy. This is literally a website of my own making. It's not nearly fancy. Come on, load. Like, literally, it's just a thing of my own making. Here's all the flashcards and such, and it's just a view app. I don't know how much you do. That's like, hey, here you go. Here's some cute little flashcard nonsense. Because I am simultaneously lazy and not lazy, and then I'm like, well, I'll just make my own flashcard website because I'm too lazy to install an app and make Anki cards, but also like want something that I can just lay in bed and reach over my mouse to like click on and whatnot. So the template looks like Anki. Oh, well, that's good. I didn't mean to do it that way. I haven't seen Anki since like 2004 or so. So I guess it either stuck in my brain or this is just like the most generic flashcard format there could ever possibly be. Which sounds about right. But yeah, no, there's no like learning stuff or keeping track of which ones you're getting right or those things. It's literally just, it chooses a random number out of the list and then gives you a flashcard. I don't know why I did that. I dashed down because I was like, oh, maybe it would be better if I just go underneath and then walk over. I was like, no, that was a terrible idea. Why did I do that? That was stupid. We could have survived a lot longer. Kaku. Alright, let's do one more flashcard, and then I think I had to stop. Didn't realize I've been streaming for 3 hours and 15 minutes. And it's getting a little bit late for me. I'm on East Coast time. I do have work tomorrow and everything else, but here we go. A good one. A sentence to finish off. Roppongi? Pretty sure? Roppongi no onsen ni ita koto wa arimasu. So, Roppongi no onsen ni ita koto wa arimasu. Have you ever been to the onsen in Roppongi? I'm pretty sure that's Roppongi, because Roppongi is 6 trees, or 6 big trees, or something like that, right? I mean, like, I see the kanji. 6 true or book and tree, right? But it's a place, Roppongi. No onsen ni ita koto wa arimasu. Again, it's that grammar concept of I have done this before, or have you done this before, if you're asking a question. And like, it's the past form plus kotoba is kind of what implies, like, have you done this before? So kotoba arimasu. Sorry. Thing in past tense, kotoba arimasu. I have been to the hot springs of Roppongi. Yeah, sorry, there's no ka in there, so it's just a statement of a fact. I have been to the hot springs of Roppongi. It sounds like something you could hear in Blade Runner or something. What is it? Like I've seen the moons of something, or it's the speech that the guy gives for the tears in the rain. All these moments lost like tears in the rain. The Blade Runner thing. Okay, sorry, I said that was the last one, but I'll do one more because I want to. Saki mado no. I don't know why Sa and Chi always throw me off a little bit, but Chikaku no Seiki ni suwarimashita. Saki is like a moment ago, like before, but a moment ago. Saki mado no chikaku no seiki. So Mado's window. A moment ago, near the window. Oh, Seiki. Suwarimashita. Oh. I think it's like I left it. This is a context one, like from a conversation. So I left it near, or no, sorry, I was sitting near the window. A moment ago I was sitting near the window. Because Suwari Mashita is sat. I don't precisely remember what Seiki is. Wait, no, wait. Seiki, oh no, never mind, that's Seifu. I was gonna say wallet, but no. Is Seiki bag? Saki mado no chikaku no Seiki. Oh, this is just seat. Like I was sitting in the seat near the window. Just a while ago, I was sitting near the window. Seiki is near, maybe? No, that's Chikaku. Near? No, that's Chikaku. Sorry, my brain is on loop. Wallet is Seifu, not... Sorry, Saifu, not Seifu. Thank you. Seiki. What is... Cough? No, I don't think that's what I meant. We'll see if I manage to get it there. I just sat in a seat near my throat. What? No! Why is Seiki here? Alright, hold on. Going back. Book 2, page 40. Did I just add in a random thing here, or what happened? Seiki is seat, according to this. Seiki, seat. Might be kanji. Throw me off here. Seiki? There we go. Seiki. Seat. Cool. Alright. Well. Bloop. Alright. Tell you what. I was debating. I was like, should I end on a flashcard or should I end on just dying? Or, well, not dying, because we're so good at this game that we're going to get the golden berry, definitely. Also, it's just kind of like... I don't know how often you stream, but, like... Sometimes it's just hard to stop because you're enjoying yourself and you're like, man, I wish I didn't have to, like, work or do all these other things and such. So I could just enjoy, play games all day. But let's see how far I get and then I'll call it. But I have enjoyed this, so I do plan on doing this again, probably next Tuesday. I normally start streaming at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. But like I said earlier, I do an hour of Ring Fit first. So if you don't want to exercise your body at all, and you don't want to see someone exercise their body, then maybe wait an hour. Wait until 8:30 Eastern time. and then you can swing by if you would like to do more Japanese. So by then I should probably have added, you know, at least 30 more flashcards in the mix, based on, at least probably. There are probably more. I don't know how much vocabulary is in the next chapter that we have to go over. But, excuse me. My Japanese classes are Monday nights, so by Tuesday I will likely have done homework that was due the day before and added in more flashcards, so. I've been streaming about lunchtime recently, but I just got hungry. That's fair. I had nachos for dinner earlier today, so I'm pretty good. Guacamole, steak, cheese, chips, salsa, sour cream. Drat, I was hoping that would work. There we go. Oh no. Did I was supposed to, sorry, did the food talk awaken you? My bad. I think food talk is probably like one of my favorite things to talk about on stream. Even though I do tend to stream like a little bit later sometimes. Because everyone likes food, so like food is a good topic of conversation to chat about. Especially because like the pandemic has given a lot of people hobbies in like baking or making bread or those kind of things. So I feel like a lot of people appreciate those things, or have a more of an appreciation than before, maybe. And my, I guess, corn hobby, as I've heard some people call it, which I think is kind of a cute moniker, is baking, I suppose. And so for a while, for like a few months, I was working on various forms of cookies. And so like it started with a butter cookie recipe, and then morphed into a hazelnut cookie, and then morphed into a hazelnut cookie with red bean filling between the two. And then it got even more decadent, and I started like melting chocolate down and like mixing the chocolate with brandy or like a little bit of milk, like making almost like truffles, and then using that as a glaze to go on top of them. And then, yeah, like all that goodness. And then recently I've been making shortbread bars, like a lemon bar, but then not using lemon, and instead using other things like red bean paste and chocolate, or apple cider to make apple cider bars, or not just doing like a straight lemon bar, but doing a lemon lime bar by doing equal parts lemon and lime juice. Like a lot of fun things to do. Like a lot of good variations and such. I like doing weird ones too. Like I just made this past week. I make them like once a week because the whole batch will last the entire week. But I just made Fanta ones. So I used Fanta, like the orange soda, and boiled it to like get rid of some of the liquid, some of the water content in it, and make like intensify the flavor a little bit. And then that becomes like the curd that sits on top of the shortbread. That's good. I don't know if I'd say like deep into banking, because like I feel like doing variations of one recipe. Here's the cookies, by the way, with the chocolate glaze on top. Like doing a single variation on a recipe and then modifying it over and over again isn't like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's that impressive, because it's just like tweaking something. Like those things started off, do I still have the picture of the dove cookie? I probably do, somewhere, maybe. I have a cooking folder that I kind of have pictures of these things in. So like this is kind of a decent one, like the flat hazelnut cookie, and then the flat hazelnut cookies with chocolate on top, and then these ones I rolled the red bean paste in, and then obviously these ones on top have chocolate and red bean paste rolled together. So that was a fun experiment. I stopped doing this because it took too long to roll it, and it's a lot easier to cut them in half and then put the bean paste in the middle, which works pretty well. Or you can be super lazy and just make thumbprints with chocolate. I wish I could find the bird cookies. Oh, they're there. Sorry. This was the original cookie, by the way. Hato Sabere dove cookies. Or pigeon cookies. So this is the original butter cookie without anything added in. And then I started subbing out regular flour, or part of the regular flour, like a third of a cup or so, and replacing it with hazelnut flour to make the cookies that I was just showing a moment ago. So those are all pretty fun to deal with. But like, I do make other things besides bakey things, but the baking stuff I think is pretty enjoyable. Though I guess you'll appreciate these probably if you like the Japanese stuff. Some homemade dango. Raspberry is the pink one, and then regular plain mochi flavored, and then green tea. So a nice tasty dango. Though I definitely would recommend, like, these were good and all, like they were, but what's it called? It's Mita something dango. Shoot, the name is blanking on me right now. But it's this. It's basically just regular dango, but you make like this sweet, almost, I almost want to say it's like teriyaki sauce. It's basically teriyaki sauce, but then like melted together with like a little bit of other stuff. And it makes this like, super thick, really, really good savory sauce that you pour across them. It also just looks pretty. So I think it's Mita something. Or Mitsu something? Gonna bother me a little bit that I can't think of it, but yeah, so those are that. And then the bars I was talking about, these are red bean flavors, and the reason it's like such a close-up on it is because when you make these are the apple cider ones, you get like a top layer of crust on top that's just like from the air escaping from underneath the everything, because you bake the shortbread bit first, and then you pour the curd on top of it when it's kind of set a little bit, but air still escapes from underneath the shortbread, so you get kind of bubbly crustiness on top. And then if you want like a pretty color, then you can scrape off the top and you'll get like that one square that shows that apple cider flavor. So, but the red bean variant of this is really good. Like you make, you basically make zanze or oshiriko, like red bean soup. It's literally water and red bean paste mixed together in equal proportion with a dash of salt. And that makes liquid red bean that you can then substitute into the shortbread recipe. Or the bar recipe, or whatever. And you can make them cherry flavored or whatever you want. I don't know why this is rotated, but this is the cherry one. So it's just fun. Like I said, I don't think I'm doing anything particularly special with the baking stuff, but like taking one ingredient out and putting it in something else. But it's fun. So anyway, thank you for listening to me blather about cooking. So I do plenty of it, and I like trying out little, you know, cute things and such for fun. So. But anyway, I should get going. Like I said I would, like 50 minutes ago. But thank you for coming by. I very much appreciate you hanging out. I'm gonna save and quit so I don't have to go through the very start of that level the next time I play this. But I'll probably play Celeste again on next Tuesday, most likely. So 8:30 Eastern-ish, most likely for that. Because Ring Fit comes first, because I really am trying to stay with it. I've been doing it for 9 weeks, so I am sticking with it, it feels like. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Happy studying, good luck! Ganbaremasu. Ganbaremasu, benkyo. And yeah, take it easy everyone. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.